Good evening, and welcome to our weather forecast in this time slot. In today's program, we will take a close look at a complex and fast-changing weather picture stretching from the Atlantic Ocean all the way into the U.S. mainland over the next 7 to 10 days, highlighting the key information you need, the areas that require vigilance, and the practical guidance to help everyone prepare for upcoming weather conditions. First, in the western Atlantic, two tropical systems named Alda and Umberto are active over the open waters of the northwest Atlantic. Both are moving away from the U.S. mainland, but among them, Alda is showing signs of intensification and is forecast to strengthen into a Category 2 hurricane today as it moves closer to Bermuda. For the people of Bermuda, this is not a time for complacency. Strong winds, heavy rainfall, and high surf may cause property damage, power outages, and disruption to transport. Therefore, all official instructions from meteorological services and local authorities must be taken seriously. Prepare an emergency kit. Ensure clean water, batteries, and medicines are available, and stay updated with urgent alerts to act promptly if needed. Meanwhile, Umberto has weakened significantly after interacting with a cold front offshore and is gradually dissipating. The only lingering effects for the U.S. mainland will be elevated surf and high cloud cover. Rather than a tropical storm threat, this is a classic example of how tropical systems can evolve differently depending on their surrounding environment. Even when two cyclones exist in the same general basin, their outcomes can be very different. Turning to the mainland, the most significant development is the onset of a broad heat wave across the central U.S., a surge of heat that will drive temperatures well above average, particularly across the Great Plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley. Widespread readings will climb 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, with late weekend highs in the 80s to 90s degree F, 27 to 35 degrees Celsius, across much of the Midwest. A few locations could even challenge daily records for October if sunshine persists under the strong ridge of high pressure. While this is not as hot as peak midsummer, it is unusually warm for mid-October and may pose health risks to the elderly, children, and those with chronic conditions. Staying hydrated, limiting strenuous outdoor activity during midday, and making heat safety plans will be essential. The strategic driver behind this heat surge is the upper-level flow pattern. A strong ridge anchored over the south-central U.S. is funneling warm, moist air northward from the Gulf of Mexico, while the jet stream has carved a deeper trough to the northwest, leaving the central U.S. under intensified warm flow. In contrast, a surface high in the northeast is keeping coastal areas cooler, even chilly at times. The result is a striking east-west temperature divide. The east coast will be seasonably cool, while the central states experience what feels like an extended late summer. This has major implications for agriculture, weekend travel, and public health services. Alongside the heat, another key development is a strong weather system expected to move through the western U.S. later this weekend. A shortwave trough and mid-level low will push a cold front across the Rockies, bringing showers, thunderstorms, and in some areas of the northern plains, the potential for strong storms. Localized risks include gusty winds and small hail, especially across parts of Nebraska, the Dakotas, and perhaps as far south as Kansas during late afternoon and evening peaks. While not a widespread outbreak, these storms warrant close monitoring by local meteorological offices. Behind the system, a surge of colder air will drop into the northern plains in Montana, with mountain areas potentially seeing pockets of sharp cold and even scattered early-season snow. A clear reminder that autumn cold snaps arrive quickly by mid-October in higher terrain. Heading into next week, the pressure pattern remains complex. The low may weaken as it crosses the northern plains, but surface winds across the heartland will keep conditions unsettled, with alternating warm and cooler days in the Midwest. The Pacific Northwest and parts of coastal California may turn cloudier with patchy rainfall. Strong surface winds in the plains will also make conditions feel variable and at times hazardous. So residents should pay attention to high wind advisories and secure loose outdoor items. Another critical issue we're tracking is the potential for new tropical development over the next 7 to 10 days. Two areas deserve attention, one in the northern Gulf of Mexico, near the Texas-Louisiana coastline, and another in the main development region, MDR, of the Central Atlantic. In the short term, by this weekend, the likelihood of a large organized system in the Gulf remains low. Still, small surface swirls could bring heavy localized rain and flooding to coastal cities with poor drainage. Looking further ahead, medium-range forecasts suggest a window in mid-October when the odds of development in the Caribbean and Central America rise. Some ensemble guidance places this probability in the moderate range. If a tropical cyclone does form in this region, the potential for impacts on the Caribbean islands or even the U.S. Gulf and East Coasts cannot be ruled out. For now, residents across the Caribbean, Gulf Coast, and Atlantic seaboard should continue monitoring updates, especially as we approach mid-month when development chances increase. Beyond the storms and the heat, we must consider secondary impacts of extreme weather. The mid-autumn heat will drive up electricity demand as air conditioning units run longer, placing stress on the power grid. Heavy rains or strong storms can down trees and power lines. High winds can turn loose outdoor items into hazards for motorists and pedestrians. Practical steps are recommended. Ensure electrical equipment is safety certified. Secure lightweight objects outside. Monitor emergency alert systems, and plan evacuation routes if living in flood-prone areas. For agriculture, the combination of heat and humidity across the plains may stress crops nearing harvest and increase heat stress on livestock. Farmers should provide adequate water, shade, and adjust work schedules to avoid the hottest hours. Conversely, the cool air on the East Coast may temporarily ease stress on crops there. In marine operations, even though Alda and Umberto are tracking away, they will continue to generate rough surf along parts of the East Coast, limiting safe conditions for small craft and recreational boating. Caution and delays to departure may be the prudent choice for operators. Looking further into mid-October, some numerical models hint at a potentially unusual setup. A strong trough diving southward from Canada could open the door to a significant cold outbreak, dropping temperatures sharply across many regions, possibly to freezing levels in parts of the northern Midwest and mountain states. This could even bring early snow to areas like Montana, Wyoming, or North Dakota if the extreme scenario unfolds. However, it's important to stress the uncertainty. Medium-range model signals often fluctuate, and many variables remain in play. We will continue refining this outlook as more data comes in. A strong cold snap could also be followed quickly by a rebound in warmth if high pressure rebuilds, making for large temperature swings within days, a challenge for agriculture and transportation alike. To summarize, here are the 4 key takeaways for the week ahead. 2 tropical systems remain active in the Atlantic, with Alda potentially impacting Bermuda as a strong hurricane. A widespread heat wave will grip the central U.S., with temperatures well above seasonal norms, especially in the Great Plains and Midwest. A strong low-pressure system over the northern plains late this weekend may trigger localized severe storms and bring a surge of cooler air behind it. Tropical development bears watching in the northern Gulf of Mexico and the Central Atlantic's MDR region, with risks increasing into mid-October. Action steps. Residents of Bermuda and U.S. coastal areas should prepare for potential storm impacts. Central U.S. communities should take precautions against unusual heat. Those near rivers, coasts, or flood-prone zones should remain alert for localized flooding. Public services and businesses should be ready for increased demand under hot and humid conditions, and above all, everyone should stay tuned to official sources for the latest updates. We will continue to monitor developments and bring you the most up-to-date analysis as forecasts converge and official advisories are issued. If you'd like us to prepare region-specific updates, whether for the Midwest, Gulf Coast, or Northeast, please let us know in the comments, and we'll bring you detailed coverage. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss critical weather alerts. We wish you a safe week ahead, and we'll see you in our next update.